Welcome to the Live Abundantly show, where we talk about important things, not important things, and things we just want to talk about. Okay, today Bree is going to lead us out. We're starting with girl talk.
Yeah.
All right, what are we talking about today?
So today we're talking about feminine hobbies and activities that women can do or do to feel feminine.
I love that.
Yeah.
Okay, so what about you, Bree? What is one of your feminine hobbies?
I would say painting.
Oh, wow.
I feel like that's a feminine hobby.
Bree's a lot cooler than me.
Is that a feminine hobby?
Yeah,
'Cause
it
you
is.
be creative.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
creative. So what do you do when you paint?
So I will set up like music and like a little scene on the TV and set up all of my paints and just make it like a relaxing time.
Wow.
It's really fun. It's like a place where I can unwind and just be creative, and so
Nice.
that's what I do.
I love that.
What about you?
Me and painting is more of a stressful activity because I have no gifting for painting. But I will say, it was like a paint and sip night with my friends, Kim and Melanie. It was hilarious because I was like the rule follower, okay? And I'm trying to do exactly what they told us to do to paint exactly what the teacher had painted. And Kim was kind of upset because they were really slow on bringing us our wine. So she was just like, come on, bring the wine so I can be inspired to do my painting. And so she's painting, but she decided, because the original had like a barn, and she was like, I don't like barns. So she didn't want to paint what they were painting. So she just did whatever she wanted on hers. And then Melanie was really about like talking to the other ladies and making new friends at the
That's hilarious.
paint and sip. And so
I love that.
to look at our three paintings afterwards side by side was hilarious. It was like we were in three different classes.
That's so
Like
funny.
none of them looked like what we were supposed to be painting. I mean, I tried really hard. Anyway, so that was therapeutic and it was fun in a unique way, not because I'm good at painting, but it was fun to just go and experience that with my girlfriends.
Yeah.
And to see how differently we approached
Right.
painting. I was very legalistic. Kim was very free. Melanie didn't care.
I love that. You
Anyway.
can see each personality
Yeah.
through the painting.
It's really kind of fun, but I think that's a fun activity for girlfriends. We did this at a birthday party recently for my daughter. We bought this same like paint kit off of Amazon, and we all were like speed painting. So we had set the timer for 2.5 minutes, and you would paint on one of the canvases, and then when the timer went off, you had to switch. And again,
fun.
you know, some of us are more talented than others, and so I was more of the sabotager on the canvases than the one
That's
contributing.
hilarious. What were you doing?
There were butterflies,
Oh,
but
okay.
you
That's
know,
fun.
I just kind of had fun with it.
I want to see it.
And then they had to try to fix what I did.
Oh, you would switch off.
Yeah, we
Okay.
switched canvases every 2.5 minutes.
That's hilarious.
So it was funny. Anyway, I think for me, just thinking about the idea of a feminine hobby is this is a time where we're not trying to be productive, or we're not performing, we're not achieving, or it's not a time to like check off a to-do list. It's really just pleasure and fun. And that's why I think having these hobbies is so good to nurture your feminine essence, because the feminine is about being, not always doing and performing. And so for me, I've not always been great with plants. My friend Annabelle can attest to that because she comes over and checks on my plants to make sure they're still like thriving. But I have really gotten into like taking care of all my little plants and flowers, and I have an herb garden that I'm so proud of my little herbs and how they're doing. But I love being outdoors, so that's a big part of, I think, any hobby for me is going to involve being outdoors.
Right.
And so I love being outdoors in the sun and taking care of my little plants and seeing them all grow. And another, I love cooking but not like it's after work and I'm tired and I just have to feed people.
Yeah.
I like the cooking where I can like really plan, do the shopping, get in the kitchen, you know, play music, enjoy the whole process and
Right.
take my time and just savor the whole
Yeah.
experience. That is like one of my favorite things to do. So those are a couple things that I do that just kind of nurtures, I think, my femininity and lets me be creative and expressive.
I love that.
Yeah.
It's always fun, the process of even grocery shopping when you know what you're going to cook.
Yeah,
I feel like
it
even
is.
putting it away for some reason is like, it's just fun. I
Yeah.
don't know why.
I know. Well, and I mean, depending on your shopping experience, I don't like to go when there's like everybody's at the grocery
Right.
store because it stresses me out.
Yeah.
I want to go on like the off hours when I kind of feel like I have the whole store to myself and
Mm-hmm.
I can just linger and enjoy. Yeah.
I agree. And it's not
Super
fun to
fun.
be there when it's
No,
the day before Thanksgiving.
I don't like crowds. Some people love crowds, but I'm not one of them.
You are good at crafts, though.
You think?
Yes. Because when we went to that last craft night, yours was like the best out of everybody.
It
and-
was?
uh,
I
and
don't
I was
even
so
remember
surprised
it.
because you were like, you're always like, I'm not creative, but you are creative.
Well, thanks, Bree. You're so sweet.
You're welcome. I just
That's
think it's funny
awesome.
you don't like arts and crafts, but you're good at it. And
I
both
don't
your
like it
kids
because
are.
I think I'm really bad at it. Okay,
Like
I'm
you
good
said,
at
it's not
I'm
about. It's just about being. So you just gotta.
I do enjoy
You
myself.
don't have to actually use anything that you make.
That is
But
true.
You also make bath salts.
I do.
Which is really
Yeah.
feminine and cool.
Thanks, Bree. I feel so validated right now with my little crafty self because I've always called myself the crappy crafter.
Oh no.
Because I didn't think I was good at it. But I do love my bath salts. And like I put all the essential oils and it is like so luxurious to enjoy like taking a bath that I made myself
Yeah.
and I put all the stuff in it so it makes your skin like super soft. Yeah,
That
it
is
is fun. So yeah. But it's just good to have fun things that you're doing, not for any reason other than just pleasure.
Right. And enjoying it.
Love it. Okay, Bree, now it is the get after it, but in a feminine way session. So I think today we were going to talk about like our morning routines and evening routines.
Yeah.
And I'm so curious because this is something I'm really passionate about. If you've been following me at all, you know that I am like religious about my morning and evening routines. So I'm excited to hear about yours and just what you prioritize.
So I definitely prioritize skincare. I think that's my number one thing that I try to do every single night. There are some times when I don't do that, and it's probably because I'm really, really, really tired. But other than that, skincare and also oral care, like brushing my teeth, water flosser, stuff like that. So that like relaxes me at night, doing my skincare. Like the more steps in my routine, I feel like is the better because I'm more relaxed. And I
Ooh,
like
I
doing it.
love
It's fun.
that.
It's fun to like have it all set up in your bathroom and then it's also good for you because you're taking care of your skin. So I would say that's like my number one in my routine, and also taking magnesium before bed too.
Oh,
Which-
yeah. Does that help you sleep?
Yeah, I think it does
Okay.
help me sleep, and I feel like after taking it for a few weeks now, it just helps like with my nervous system too.
Oh, that's so,
So-
cool. Okay, I have not done that. I put it in my bath salts. Just I'm bathing in it, so I think that counts.
Yeah, it probably does because it will get into your skin.
Okay, so I have a big confession. It's gonna make people feel really, probably shocked by me.
Yeah, I mean,
I had no skincare routine whatsoever until probably maybe like 5 years ago, and I'm 51. So that's why her skin looks like this and my skin does not.
your skin looks great for not having a
Oh my
skincare
gosh.
routine.
I did not,
That's-
okay?
Wow.
Let's just get a context, okay? I grew up in Martinsville, Texas, which I love. I am like hometown girl, love it so much, but we were not prioritizing skincare in Martinsville. We were not at all. We were just playing basketball. That is really all that we were doing. and riding horses and, things
Yeah.
like that. That's what I was doing with my time.
Mm-hmm.
I was not taking care of my skin. And no one really ever told me to take care of my skin. My mother swore by oil of Olay, and that was it. And
I
she
love that.
was just like, this is all you need. It's oil of Olay. And I just thought she knew what she was talking about because
she did because you
that
look
was
great.
it. Anyway, well, I didn't use olive oil either.
You didn't use
no, I
it?
didn't do anything, but she did. But that was really the only advice I had from my mother on skincare. So I didn't even give my daughter any advice on skincare because I still wasn't taking care of my own. So here I am now at 51 trying to take care of my skin and trying different products because I don't even know. So this is what I did. I found a line of skincare that's numbered. It tells you what to do in what order because it was so overwhelming for me. So if you're like me and you're just getting started, find skincare that's numbered. It helps because I was like, I don't know what to put on first. I didn't have a clue. So I am enjoying it now. And it's like this newfound thing at a later in life stage. So it may not have as many benefits as yours will because you're starting so much sooner. But it is really relaxing. You're right. And you feel like you're just pampering yourself in this sweet little way. So,
Yes, and I like the bubble headband that I get to wear.
I You're
just-
like the bubblehead band girl. Yeah.
I
Do you have the
get
little
it.
wrist things that keep water from dripping down your sleeves?
Yes.
So many fun things
And I
that
just
people
got
came
like
up with.
a little ice
Uh-huh.
roller and
Oh, yeah. Okay, I haven't advanced to all of those levels yet, but I'm inspired.
I saw it at Marshall's. I was like, I want to be the girl that does this every morning. So now
Yeah.
I'm the girl that does that.
I love it. That's beautiful. Okay, so with my evening routine, I love baths. I'm obsessed. It's
You are the
how
bath queen.
I am the bath queen. Everyone knows I'm going to have all the things, the candles, the bath bombs, or the bath salts, or something to make my bath feel amazing. And there's something about water. If you're like a shower person or a bath person, it doesn't matter. But there's something about water that is so like relaxing when it needs to be, but it can be rejuvenating.
Yeah.
It's just everything. I don't know how water gets to be everything, but it is. So I love my bath routine. I will stay in there and like reheat the water if I just want to enjoy a bath. So last week, my husband was gone one evening, and I just had this whole night of getting to do what I wanted. So I made foods that smell bad because he wasn't there and he didn't have to smell it. Because I love salmon, I love broccoli, but it just makes him like throw up.
Oh my god.
So I had my amazing dinner, and then I love the movie Spanglish. I don't even know how many times I've watched it, but I was like, I'm going to get my laptop, I'm going to watch Spanglish in my bath. And I just had
Oh, I
a
love
party.
that.
It was so much fun. And of course, he came home and he's like, "You're watching Spanglish again?" I'm like, "Yes, I am." It makes me happy.
Yeah, that's a funny movie.
Yeah, I loved it. And I think that just having, there's the normal evening routine of, having my bath, always trying to kind of take a break from electronics before I go to bed. And then just letting yourself truly unwind and slow down before
Yeah.
sleep. Because what I love in the story of creation, it talks about as God was creating the world, after the very first moment of what he created, there was light. And it says there was evening and there was morning the first day. So God started the day or the time frame with evening.
Right.
And I believe if we start thinking that way, we will set ourselves up for the next day really well. If you think about my day starts in the evening, then
Yeah.
everything you're doing is going to affect how your day is the next day. So I love my morning routine. It is the thing I've had probably the longest. But if I don't have a good evening routine, then I'm not setting myself up well to have a productive morning routine.
Right.
That's just how I feel about it. So in my morning routine, I would say the key elements are coffee,
Definitely coffee.
water, sunshine, movement of some kind,
That's good.
and I spend time in the Word, I journal, I listen to worship music or just instrumental music. Just something that is uplifting and gets my day started out right. I do all of that before I begin doing like all the grooming and self-care stuff that has to be done to get ready for the day. And it's like how I spiritually, mentally, emotionally prepare for the day, and then I'm ready to kind of like go for it,
Right. Yeah.
So those are the components of my morning routine.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah. What about you?
For my morning routine, I would say when I wake up, I immediately drink like at least 1 or 2 glasses of water. Like I'll chug them.
I drink the coffee first.
I'm
I know
just
it's
like-
wrong.
Like I don't even care. I just want to get it in my system.
Yeah.
And then I'll have coffee because if I don't, I'll get shaky. Which just started happening the last few years, so that's been fun. So I will have coffee after water because I'm responsible and mature.
I'm not. I'm drinking all the coffee first.
I love that. I love that you can do that. It's just ended at this age for me. I'm like, I can't. Also, I have to take my dog out for a walk. So that's something that is really important. And getting in my Bible and doing a devotional and journaling. Because I journal first because I feel like getting everything out is important.
Oh, that's cool. I love that.
And then filling myself back up. So I always journal first, and then I'll journal after if like I have like revelation or something throughout. But yeah, so my journals aren't that fun because they're all the dumps. There's a few like good ones, but they're not the funnest things. But I feel like that's what they're supposed to be for.
Yeah.
So
That's awesome. Yeah, I have so many journals from the last, I don't know, like 4 decades of my life. And all I hear whenever people talk about when you die, they aren't like, I'm going to be sad when you die or we'll miss you. It is, I'm getting the journals. Everyone wants to take my journals and read them. I don't know why. I'm like, I'm not living that interesting of a
love
life.
that.
But they just know that I've written the chronicles.
Yeah.
And so.
Oh my gosh. I get that because my nan wrote and I got all of her journal.
Did
Nobody
you really?
wanted them though. Like I'm the
I
only
want
one
mine
that
to be burned. Will you be the one to burn my journals if I
yeah.
die? Okay. Bree has now just
Because I
agreed.
understand. I would
Thank
never
you.
want my journals to be read.
No. Okay. Bree is now the burner of the journals. Thank you, Bree.
Yes. I'll take them before anyone knows, and I won't even say that I took them. We'll have agreement before.
Thank you. She's my true friend. Okay, so my encouragement is just have fun with creating an evening and a morning routine because it is truly what is the bookends. These are the bookends of your day, the beginning and the end. And I feel like as I have developed and kind of fine-tuned my morning and evening routines, it lets my whole day be intentional rather than reactionary. And that's what I think the value ultimately is of having those things in place in your life. I think you're going to love it. So build one that you like. Think about the elements that are important to you. Include the 5 senses because that really helps your whole, body, soul, spirit be present for those routines. But enjoy playing around and building your own.
So now is the glow up.
Awesome.
We're going to be talking about competing with men and why we do it,
Oh.
which is a funny one for both of us. Very
We're both competitive. Oh my gosh.
Yes.
Okay, I have a story. It's just because at this point in your life you have stories. Okay,
Love it.
so this is a very highly competitive story from my teenage years. People from Martin's Mill will remember this. At the time, I am one of 3 girls. I have 2 sisters and then my mom. My stepdad traveled. He was a truck driver, so he was not home very often. So it was just like me and my sisters, and then our mom, we kind of treated her like she was like an older sister. Bless her heart. Anyway, it was just a bunch of girls, okay? Well, the guys at my school decided that they were going to try to wrap our house with toilet paper because that was the thing in Martinsville. What else is there to do? There wasn't anything else besides basketball. So they were going to try to wrap our house. Well, when I told my mom, I came home and told my mom and my sisters, like, hey, they're going to try to wrap our house. My mom was like, oh, no, they're not. So I come by this honest, okay? She went to Sam's Club and bought all the toilet paper. We would sit at night and shred it into like snow and put it into trash bags. Okay, I'm just gonna give you the full extent. We were ready. We had rolls and rolls of toilet paper. We had snow, bags of snow toilet paper ready to go so that when these guys struck our house, they would regret it. So
I love
then, y'all, this is ridiculous, but this is what we did. My younger sister was outside hidden with eggs ready to egg them when they came up onto our into our yard. I was the lookout, and so I was gonna be the one to like let my mom know when they had arrived. My mom had parked the car behind the house, so when they came up into the yard, she comes flying around like honking her horn, lights blaring, scared the crap out of these guys, and they're running. Okay, one of them was actually my science teacher. I'm just gonna go ahead. It's been long enough. I can go ahead.
That's an interesting.
He was involved in
plot
this whole
twist.
thing. He was driving them. So my
Plot
mom,
twist. That's crazy.
my mom was like chasing them in her car all over Martin's Mill while me and my sisters got our snow and our rolls of toilet paper and we went and destroyed their house. Like destroyed it. It was covered in toilet paper snow. We shoe polished trees, like we toilet paper, we did everything. Okay. So when I say I was competitive with guys, I mean, like, no one could ever wrap our house. They never could until after I got married. And then they came and wrapped my house finally. And I didn't see it coming. And my husband was so mad. And I was like, no, this is actually funny. They've been trying for years.
Oh my gosh.
So, yeah, I was really competitive with guys. I had no idea how off-putting that was. Had no clue. So, Bree, that's just a little insight into me and the women in my family and the competitive nature that we possessed.
Yeah, I love that.
So I want to hear about your journey.
How did I get here? Well, I grew up with two younger brothers, and I had two older sisters growing up who didn't want anything to do with me. They would never let me do anything that they were doing.
Yeah.
I was just young, too young, like
Right.
I wasn't able. So I was with the two boys. I was like grouped with them. So, and I was the middle child, so I didn't have anybody. They
Me
each had
too.
somebody. And I didn't. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna join their scooter gang, And I tried to join
The scooter
everything.
gang.
I really did. I got a pink Razor scooter. And I followed
Did y'all
them
have
around.
a name for your scooter gang?
They did, and
Oh.
we actually argue about this because they claim that it wasn't the name, but I know it was. It's called Smitten,
Oh, smitten.
but they get so mad at me when I bring it up because they don't want to admit that they had a name for their scooter gang, and they did. We were like,
Scooter
I was
gang.
probably like 9, but
Smitten. I mean, that's
Yeah.
intimidating.
so I would try to do everything that they would do,
Yeah.
and if I didn't, they would kick me out. So I had to get good.
Oh,
Like if I wasn't good enough to play
Yeah.
on their team on Xbox, I get booted. So I had to get good so I could like hang.
yeah.
Which is interesting because I was the older one, so I should have been doing that probably.
That's true.
Yeah.
But they
So,
were
yeah.
there were two of them.
hmm
Yeah.
So that's pretty
Wow.
much why I feel like I was competitive towards men
Yeah.
because of my brothers, and I still feel that way towards them.
Mhm.
But I don't feel like that way towards men in general.
Yeah.
I don't like when I feel like a man is competing with me in a way. I feel like it feels out of place or out of order.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Which it doesn't happen often, but when it does, it's off-putting to me. Like I just don't like it.
So this was our setup. We were set up to be competitive with men. And I think that society as a whole actually has set us up to be competitive, like the sexes are competitive with one another, just in general. I remember too, I went to a university that was a Christian university, and I was a Bible major. And at the time, early 90s, there were only 5 female Bible majors. The rest were all men. And again, I felt this competitiveness, like I have to prove myself because they didn't feel like I belonged there. And so again, it was like I was tapping into something that, now I look back on and I can see it. At the time, I didn't even know what I was operating in. But when we compete with men, that throws them into that fight mode.
Yeah.
There's the sort of that that's just what's in men. They are meant to be, you know, kind of wired for being protectors, defenders, warriors. And so when we become the threat, then they are going to operate in fight mode.
Yeah.
And that's not really what we want to draw out of men. We want them to be protective towards us. We want them to, you know, have that feeling of like we're a prize or a treasure. And when we draw out the competitiveness in men, we're not really getting the best experience. We're not getting the best like relational, relational experience from men that we could have if we weren't being competitive with them.
Right.
I think too, men really thrive on feeling like we admire and respect them. And when we're competing with them, we're basically trying to put them down. We're trying to overpower, prove something to them. And again, I think that it's fine when you're just playful and you're just enjoying and it's just fun. But when you are truly like, I'm competing because I have to prove something to you, then we're not going to get the best out of the men in our lives when we operate in that. Okay, so that's a wrap on that section. What's up next?
All right, so now it's just for giggles,
Okay.
which is pretty easy because we have lots of giggles. So how well do women know each other?
This first one is for Carrie. Go-to coffee order.
I wrote it in such a weird way. All right, what do you think it is?
So I think it's a venti brown sugar shaken espresso with oat milk.
Oh my gosh! It is! Oh my gosh! I
Yeah.
am secretly like in shock.
Really?
It's not even a secret.
I
I'm
picked it
visibly in shock. Secret.
Next one is for
Okay.
Bree.
Okay.
You could only watch one TV show for the rest of your life. What would it be?
Shoot. I wished I watched TV so I would know what TV shows are. Can it be, is it like classic TV or like any form of a series? I feel like she is writing a lot more letters, so I feel like it's
'cause
going
I
to be
messed
wrong.
up.
Okay. The Chosen.
The Chosen. That's a good guess. But
I
it's
got it wrong.
Somebody feed Phil.
I don't even know what that is. Why does he need to be fed?
It's a docu.
What's wrong with Phil? Does he not have like? It's like a whole series.
What's wrong with Phil? I said somebody feed Phil. She said, "Why? What's wrong with him?" It's like a docu-series of a man.
I have so many questions.
He's like one of the writers from Seinfeld,
Okay.
and he goes around and tries different foods from different areas.
Oh.
So it's called Somebody Feed Phil. Nothing's wrong with him.
I was going a whole different direction. I was like, why is it a whole series of people having to feed him? What was the question?
For Carrie, and it is dream vacation destination.
Okay, yeah, for sure. You're writing more letters than I did.
It might be wrong.
It might be. It's okay. Okay. You share yours.
Back to Paris for sure.
Oh my gosh! It's Paris! You're so good at this! I love this! I'm so not as good at this as you are. Okay.
Biggest fear or phobia?
Oh gosh. Bree, I feel like I don't even know you right now. Wait. You wrote yours so fast, you know exactly what you're afraid of.
I've been thinking about this all day.
I go first. Okay, of what I think you're afraid of
Okay.
today. Being locked out of your third-story apartment and having to climb a ladder to your balcony. This may have happened
That's a
to
good
our
one.
cameraman last night.
You know, it happens
Okay,
to the
Bree,
best of us.
what is it? Happens to the
Fear of
best.
the Lord.
Oh, that was really good. I took it in a really...
Come on.
Me? Come on. Should I have said
No,
something
that was a good
different?
one. Since she didn't go with The Chosen, that definitely made up for it.
This one's for Carrie. Something that she always forgets or misplaces.
glasses and passwords.
Oh, she is actually right. I was just making another joke from this weekend. Other people's keys.
That's hilarious.
Which I just did this weekend for like 2 days.
Oh, rose keys. Oh
Yes.
my gosh.
The whole time in
That's
my
hilarious.
purse. But you're right. I always lose my glasses and my passwords. I hate passwords so much. She actually got it right. I just wanted to make a joke.
What's one thing that she hoards without realizing?
One thing that Brie hoards without realizing.
Yeah, I'm confused. All right. I feel like I realized this one, but it's the only one I could think of.
I'm going with 2 options. I'm giving myself.
Me too. All right, what's
Okay.
your guess?
Oh,
I put coffee mugs or clothes.
that clothes is pretty good. I
What
said
is it?
birthday cards.
Oh,
That
you
was
keep
what I
them?
was
I do too.
Yeah, I've since I was like 14. I have them.
Oh, I don't have that many, but I have a lot.
Yeah.
I've kept them for a long time.
I
I,
love
have a big
birthday
box.
cards. Mm-hmm.
I do too. That's so cool.
Yeah. Some people don't care about them, but I just like them.
I like coffee mugs and clothes. That's
clothes,
probably
too.
me projecting to Brie. And shoes. I'm gonna go ahead and be honest. And shoes. I feel like we did not prove that women know each other that well. She was really good at this game. I was clearly not. I'm gonna spend more time with you, Brie, getting to know about your like secret talents and what you
Fears.
hoard and what you're afraid of.